What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Joaquin Corrales, and in this video we're going to go over how I made over $4,000 at 12 years old. It's actually pretty funny because when I made the money, it went to a PayPal account, and my parents didn't really want to give me a credit card because they thought that they were going to lose their identity by giving me their credit card online. So what I had to do was that I used these $4,000 that I had in this PayPal account to go on Walmart.com, and I bought American Express gift cards that came to the house, and then I would later use those gift cards as my money because my parents just didn't want to lend me a bank account or a credit card to put it into, right? And so that was actually pretty funny. But how did I make this amount of money, and what's the lesson behind something that I realized at a very early age? So I kind of made the money almost accidentally, although there was a strategy behind it. And so at the time, I used to play this game called Runescape. Maybe some of you guys have heard about that game. If you've heard about that game, hit a comment down below. I know some of my friends still play, and I think it's awesome. Like, that's pretty cool. So anyways, this was this online game, and it was this game where you would have like a life in the game, and you would be able to train, and you would be able to fight other people, and you would be able to make money, and you would be able to make money in the game by selling stuff and training skills and flipping different items. So it's kind of funny because looking back, that was one of my first encounters into entrepreneurship, because I had to figure out ways in the game to be able to make more money so that I could have cooler stuff. And so back then, the reason why I wanted to make so much money in this game is because I wanted to have this item that was like really big, right? So like it was called a party hat. And so I wanted to have this party hat where when everyone saw you walking around with this party hat, they knew that you were awesome and that you had tons of money and that you had played the game for a long time and that you were super cool. And so what I did as I began playing the game was that I figured out that you could create a whole bunch of different accounts and do this thing that was called like I don't know if it was mining or getting flax, whatever. There was a specific skill in the game that you would be able to set up with a bot. And so what a bot is this thing that I paid like $50 for, and the computer would automatically do stuff, right? So that was illegal in the game, but no one really knew how to figure that out, or how to like the people of the game weren't very good at figuring out that you were doing that. And so the ban rates were very, very low. And so what I thought was, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna start with one account. I'm gonna buy this bot that's like $10, and I'm gonna set that account up, and I'm gonna start making money while doing that. And in a way, it was passive income because I would just let the computer run and it would make the money for me. And so my sister's boyfriend at the time, he was really into computers, and he had this computer that was like really big. And so I thought, okay, if I could get $100 somehow and set up like 10 accounts to start doing this and start making me money, then I'm going to be able to make more, and it's going to be awesome. And then I'm going to be able to buy what I want to buy in this game. So bottom line is that I did that. I did a whole bunch of different stuff in this game to try and make money. And at the end of the day, I had a ton of money. I had like $4 billion in the game, which is actually a lot. And I finally had enough money to finally buy what it was that I wanted. And what happened at that point was pretty funny, because now that I had the money to buy what I wanted, I did not buy it. Instead, what I did was that I sold the money in the game for actual cash. And that was hilarious, because I think about it on a daily basis, where right now there are a whole bunch of different things that I want, a whole bunch of different monetary goals that I want to reach. And it's funny how even at an early age playing that game, I had this goal of getting this thing. And then once I was in a position to be able to get that thing, I didn't want it anymore. And so sometimes I wonder, is that going to happen with a lot of my current goals? Like, I really want to get this thing. And once I'm able to very comfortably get it, am I even going to want it anymore? And the answer is yes to a lot of them, but that's just something to think about. But the real lesson there, and what's actually really funny, was that there were tons of people in that same game that were doing what I was doing at a much bigger scale. Like, I'm talking, these people were making like $4,000 a day doing the same exact thing that took me like over 2.5 months or 3 months or something like that to make $4,000 out of. And thinking back and really paying attention to what it was that had happened, was that there was a very powerful lesson in there. And it was that because I was so oblivious and I was so young, I didn't pay attention to the fact that there were so many other people doing this, and that there were such little chances that I was going to be successful in doing it, which is something that happens to a lot of people today. Like, for example, maybe some of you watching this are wanting to start your online store, you're wanting to start selling your programs, or you want to start doing this certain thing, But the idea that there's so many people out there that are so much farther ahead and that are doing it at a much bigger scale could potentially trump you from not even starting. Whereas, for example, when I was young and I did that, first of all, I didn't even know that there was other people doing that at a much bigger scale, so it didn't even cross my mind. But just because I went on with it and I did it anyways, not caring, not knowing, but in a way not caring, I was able to get awesome results for me back then. Like, for example, I remember that this also happened to me when I started learning how to self-teach mobile development. And that was the thought that there's so many people out there who are right now so much better than me at what it is that I want to do. So if I start now, I'll probably never get ahead. Like, I'll probably never get better than them. Like, those were actual thoughts that I literally remember having like just a couple years back. And if I had them, then I'm sure a ton of you have these same exact thoughts. And the bottom line was that I ignored that, right? That's like the lizard brain talking, trying to hold you back from getting to that next level. And so obviously I ignored that. And day in and day out, I put my head down and it was literally like I would spend 18-hour days nonstop just learning mobile development, learning programming, learning a whole bunch of different stuff. And at the end of the day, today, I'm better than like the 90% of people out there who are programming apps. I could develop any single app that I want. I know what I need to do right now. And I could deploy it against a team. Like, I could have my team start working on absolutely anything because I was able to put my head down and ignore that lizard brain thought and keep going. And the bottom line is that you can get better than people that started way before you if you approach things in the right way. So I thought that was awesome. I mean, I made a ton of money. I remember giving my mom like $400 or $300 or something like that. Obviously in American Express gift cards because they didn't want to give me the freaking card because they thought that they were going to lose their identity or whatever. It was actually pretty funny. But I just thought that was awesome how, like, thinking back, if I was smarter when I was younger, or not smarter, but if I was aware at 12 years old of how small of a potential I had to make any money doing that, then I probably would have never started. And if I would not have started, then I would not have made those $4,000. And that applies to everything on a daily basis. Like, for example, you could look at a situation and you could think about all the people that are doing better than you and how small of a chances there are that you could make a successful online store that makes 100K this month. But what if you do it anyways? And the people that do it anyways are the ones that are getting there, right? And so if there's anything holding you guys back at all, just start. Like, it's a lot better as you take action towards things. Like, more ideas come. Like, for example, sometimes I have like a partial idea for something, and once you start doing it and actually deploying action against it, more ideas start coming as you're doing that specific thing. That's also another part of that. But I just wanted to throw that out there and kind of document that. Because I feel like in a couple of years, maybe I don't have all the same details as to what it was that happened back then. And I thought that was a really cool story. And I really just thought about the lesson that it actually brought maybe like a year ago. So even before that, I just thought, I was 12 years old and I made 4K. That was awesome. But there was really a very nice hidden lesson in there. Guys, we're doing a 180-day challenge. We're releasing videos daily. We're releasing winners to $1,000 worth of software and training programs every single week. And all you have to do to be able to win is to subscribe to the channel, hit a comment, hit a like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video.